Joseph Stalin. A man so feared that even his closest allies trembled at the mere mention of his name. A leader who ruled an empire spanning 1/6 of the world's landmass, not through charisma or charm, but through calculated terror and psychological manipulation. What if I told you that behind every decision Joseph Stalin made, there was a dark thread of human psychology woven into the fabric of power? His methods were not random acts of cruelty, but precise tools designed to control millions, leaving scars on history itself. Stalin didn't rise to power by accident. Born into poverty in Georgia, he clawed his way up the ranks of the Bolshevik Party with a combination of cunning intellect and ruthless ambition. But it wasn't just brute force that secured his position, it was his mastery of fear. He understood something primal about human nature. People obey authority when they're more afraid of punishment than motivated by reward. In 1934, after Sergei Kirov, a popular party official, was assassinated under suspicious circumstances, Stalin seized the moment. The Great Purge began. Millions arrested, tortured, executed, all justified under the guise of rooting out enemies of the state. It wasn't just about eliminating threats. It was about creating a culture where no one dared question him. But how did Stalin maintain such absolute control over an entire nation? One word: surveillance. Imagine living in a society where your neighbor could be spying on you, reporting your every move to the secret police. This was life under Stalin's NKVD, the precursor to the KGB. Neighbors turned against neighbors. Friends betrayed friends. Families denounced each other. All because trust became a luxury no one could afford. And here's the chilling part. Stalin didn't just rely on external forces to enforce loyalty. He weaponized paranoia itself, making citizens believe they were constantly being watched, even when they weren't. The result? A population too terrified to think critically, let alone resist. Now, consider this shocking detail. Stalin didn't stop at controlling actions. He controlled thoughts. Propaganda posters plastered across cities depicted him as a father figure, benevolent yet unyielding. Books were rewritten, history erased, photographs altered. Even language was manipulated. Words like kulak, wealthy peasant, became synonymous with enemy, dehumanizing entire groups before their executions. By distorting reality, Stalin rewrote the rules of perception. People didn't just fear him, they believed in him, even worshipped him. And those who dared doubt faced consequences so severe, dissent vanished from public discourse altogether. What makes Stalin's reign particularly fascinating is how he exploited a concept known today as dark psychology. At its core, dark psychology involves using persuasion, manipulation, and coercion to dominate others. For instance, take his infamous show trials during the late 1930s. High-ranking officials confessed to absurd crimes, knowing full well they'd be executed afterward. Why would anyone admit to something they didn't do? Because Stalin had mastered the art of breaking spirits. Sleep deprivation, isolation, relentless interrogation, these tactics wore down even the strongest minds. By the time victims stood in court, confessing seemed easier than enduring another day of torment. Their public admissions served as warnings to others. Defy me, and this will be your fate. Yet, despite all this horror, Stalin achieved something remarkable. Under his rule, the Soviet Union transformed from a backward agrarian society into an industrial powerhouse. Factories sprang up overnight, railways stretched across vast landscapes, and education improved dramatically. How did he pull off such monumental progress while perpetuating unimaginable suffering? Simple. Fear breeds compliance, and compliance drives productivity. Workers labored tirelessly, not out of patriotism but survival instinct. Farmers handed over their crops to avoid starvation. Progress came at a devastating cost, but Stalin cared little for ethics. He cared only for results. As we near the end of this story, let's talk about what truly set Stalin apart from other tyrants: his ability to adapt. While many dictators crumble under pressure, Stalin thrived in chaos. During World War II, Hitler invaded the USSR, pushing Soviet forces to the brink of collapse. Instead of panicking, Stalin pivoted. He rallied his people with fiery speeches, invoking nationalism and sacrifice. Operation Barbarossa became a turning point, not only for the war but also for Stalin's legacy. By emerging victorious, he cemented himself as both savior and oppressor, a paradoxical figure impossible to ignore. Stalin's reign ended with his death in 1953, but the psychological damage lasted generations. Survivors still whisper about the disappearances, the silence, the unbearable weight of not knowing who to trust. What Stalin created wasn't just a political regime, it was a machine of fear. He weaponized the mind, turning fear into power and control into legacy. And that legacy proves something chilling. In the hands of the right or wrong person, fear can rule a nation more effectively than any army ever could. Before we close, here's the most unsettling truth of all. Stalin's techniques didn't die with him. Governments around the world have studied and sometimes emulated his methods. Surveillance states, propaganda machines, and psychological warfare remain tools of modern leadership. So ask yourself, are we really free of the shadows he cast? Or do they linger still, hiding in plain sight? If this glimpse into his psyche intrigued you, imagine what else lies buried in the annals of history. Stay curious, stay critical, and never underestimate the power of a mind bent on domination.